The striking similarities between the fears of workers during the Industrial Revolution and our anxieties in the age of AI. Since the advent of ChatGPT, a wide range of jobs have been automated. While this can be convenient, many people are also feeling anxious, wondering if their jobs will be taken away someday. No one can predict the future, but we can learn from past lessons. In fact, the increase in unemployment due to technological innovation was also seen during the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. Back then, workers were also fearful of losing their jobs due to new machinery. Unemployed workers at that time resorted to destructive acts in the Luddite movement. What fate awaited them as a result of the Luddite movement? In this video, we will introduce what the workers of the Industrial Revolution felt and did in response to new technology. We hope this serves as a hint for surviving these turbulent times. 1. Technological innovations during the Industrial Revolution and the fears of workers. The Industrial Revolution was a period of technological innovation. From the late 18th to the 19th century, machines were introduced and productivity improved. But workers were also afraid of their jobs being taken away by machines. In particular, workers in Britain were affected by the introduction of looms and spinning machines, which took away jobs from those who made a living by hand. The fear and anxiety of workers during this period were manifested in the Luddite movement. The Luddite movement occurred in Britain in the early 19th century and was a movement of workers who opposed new machinery technology. They feared that the new machines, such as looms, would take away their jobs and resorted to destroying the machines. This movement is a symbolic event that demonstrates the anxiety and fear experienced by workers during the Industrial Revolution. 2. What were the workers of the Industrial Revolution thinking? Here are some excerpts from papers that give insight into the mentality of workers during the Industrial Revolution and those who participated in the Luddite movement. Hand-loom weavers feared that the introduction of the factory system would take away their jobs. They used to work with pride, but with the introduction of new looms, they realized that their skills were becoming obsolete. They had to adapt to a new form of labor and were forced to work as factory workers. In this form of labor, they were made to work long hours for low wages, and their lives became increasingly difficult. Reference Thompson, E.P. 1963, The Making of the English Working Class. Victor Galunch Limited. Let's also look at another paper's description. They were extremely afraid of losing their jobs due to the introduction of new looms. They also faced worsening working conditions, declining wages, and a decline in their living standards. They witnessed their situation deteriorating and resorted to machine-breaking acts out of desperation. They felt that these machines were destroying their lives and making it impossible for them to support their families. Reference Hobsbawm, E. 1952. The Machine Breakers. Past and Present. 157-70. These quotes show the specific fears and anxieties of workers during the Industrial Revolution and how they confronted new technology. They felt that their lives were threatened by technological innovations and resorted to acts of destruction and violence against machines. In today's society, this might be akin to engineers or creators throwing Molotov cocktails at AI companies. While it may not seem easily executable, it shows how desperate the workers were, feeling as if they had nothing left to lose. 3. The fate of workers who participated in the Luddite movement. The Luddite movement was ultimately strictly cracked down on by authorities. The destruction of machines was considered a crime, and many participants in the Luddite movement were arrested and convicted in court. Some participants were executed by hanging, while many others were imprisoned or exiled. Due to this strong crackdown, the Luddite movement declined and eventually disappeared. 4. The difference between those who adapted to the Industrial Revolution and those who did not. On the other hand, there were people who managed to adapt to the Industrial Revolution. They adopted to new technologies and professions, flexibly honing their skills and transitioning to new industries as the times changed. Those who adapted were able to seize new opportunities and achieve success. A prime example of someone who built wealth during the Industrial Revolution is British entrepreneur George Stephenson. He made significant contributions to the development of steam locomotives and the popularization of railways. George Stephenson was born in 1781 at Wylam, England. He grew up in a poor family and started working in a coal mine at the age of 9. He became interested in mechanical engineering and taught himself the necessary skills. In 1814, Stephenson built his first steam locomotive, called the BL Share, marking the beginning of his career as an engineer. He continued to improve steam locomotive technology, and in 1825, the world's first public railway, the Stockton and Darlington Railway, opened. He also developed the innovative steam locomotive rocket in 1829, which was used on the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Thanks to George Stephenson's efforts, Britain became a leader in the railway industry. He amassed wealth through the development and popularization of railway technology, and contributed significantly to the industrial development of countries around the world, including Britain. Stephenson became known as the father of railways, and his achievements continue to have a significant impact on modern transportation infrastructure. George Stephenson was not born into a wealthy family, or initially equipped with cutting-edge technology. He embraced the changes of his time, acquired the skills that the era demanded, and seized the opportunities that came his way. Although we may not be able to achieve as much as he did, we can still learn to use AI effectively in our work, even if we cannot develop AI ourselves. The importance of adapting to the changes brought about by technological innovation becomes apparent when comparing Stephenson's success to the Luddite movement. 5. Lessons learned from the fate of the Luddite movement. Participants in the Luddite movement clung to the past and refused to face reality, choosing to destroy machines and ultimately receiving their just deserts. Did they have no other choice but to reject new developments? Finally, let's discuss the lessons we can learn from the events of the Industrial Revolution. 5.1 Embrace AI. Don't reject it. Accept the benefits of efficiency and automation that AI technology brings, and consider how to incorporate it into your work and business. As with the Industrial Revolution, destructive movements or prohibitions will not stop more convenient and easier methods from prevailing in history. Instead of rejecting change out of fear, we need the courage to turn challenges into opportunities. On the other hand, many people are currently unable to use AI effectively, so getting familiar with it early on will make adapting to the future easier. 5.2 Acquire a flexible skill set. To adapt to technological innovations, a flexible skill set is essential. Acquiring knowledge of new technologies and industries and brushing up on your skills will enable you to cope with changes in the labor market. 5.3 Continuous learning. Technological innovation never stops. Workers in past industrial revolutions adapted to change by continually learning about new technologies. It is crucial for modern workers to adapt to changing times through continuous learning as well. 5.4 Polish skills that are difficult to replace with AI. Although machines and AI are increasingly replacing human work due to technological innovations, communication and interpersonal skills are areas where machines struggle to replace humans. By honing these skills, workers can minimize the impact of technological innovations. 5.5 Establish a support system for society as a whole. One lesson we can learn from past industrial revolutions is that support from society as a whole is necessary for adapting to technological innovations. Governments, businesses, and educational institutions must collaborate to create an environment that enables workers to adapt to change. Conclusion. We have reviewed the commonalities between the anxieties of workers during past industrial revolutions and those of today. People during the Industrial Revolution resorted to destroying machines as a result of losing their jobs. We can assume they were driven to this desperate act because they had nothing left to lose, and therefore were not afraid of arrest or punishment. People may commit criminal acts out of resentment towards the world when they have nothing left to lose. As this level of change is beyond individual responsibility, I think it would be appropriate to use tax revenue to support and re-educate those who have lost their jobs. In the end, convenient things will survive and inconvenient things will be eliminated, so it may be better to explore ways to coexist with new technologies rather than being bound by what has been accumulated so far. If you found this video interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. Personally, I'm curious about how everyone is incorporating AI into their work and whether they are looking forward to or anxious about the AI revolution. If you don't mind, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.